It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron, and in honor of Black History Month, we're going to have the blackest episode of SimWorld today we've had so far because not only do I have Rick Blaze with me this morning, but I also have Ron Yell with me this morning. Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Finally, Rick Blaze has returned back to SimWorld today. I'm doing well. Yales, your time, your cadence.
And I'm just saying, and I'm back here too. And if you're not down with that, I got a bunch of words for you. A lot.
Yeah, well, look, we got a fun show here for y'all. Let's jump right into it. Talking about some SWBA. Julius Randle, the Knicks, he's currently hurt, progressing through some shoulder injury recovery and that kind of stuff. Um, but he hasn't ruled out the idea of season-ending surgery on that shoulder yet, though. The question I have for you guys this morning regarding this is how would his loss, if they do decide to shut him down for the season, how would his loss impact the Knicks' playoff hopes?
B
Yeah,
Run,
go ahead, let's take it away.
we are officially in the Armageddon days when we have to start the show and talk about the New York Knicks. I haven't talked about
Right?
the Knicks in so long. In so long. I'll be honest with you. I don't know they're the playoff bound team, of course. They've been playing really good. Brunson looks really good. Um, I'm not really used to giving the Knicks kudos. I'll be
I'm
honest
not
with you,
either.
so it's kind of a weird feeling. But I don't know if Randle. I put it like this: with Randle in the lineup healthy, do they have a chance to get out the first round? Maybe not. So with Randle not healthy, do they have a chance to get in the first round? Maybe not. It's the Knicks.
It's the
Yeah.
Knicks, right? That's kind of how I feel too. What about you, Yels?
Where you said it's Armageddon when we're having to talk about the Knicks, I think it's kind of like I think it's the revelations that we're having to talk about Julius Randle being the savior of a team. Is he skilled? Yes, I'm right there with you. I think it's ridiculous though. Do they have a better chance with them? Yes, but it's the Knicks. It's the
It's the Knicks.
Knicks. Jalen Brunson. I'm a huge Jalen Brunson fan of what he came from and what he is. That work that he puts in, and that he really brings his game together on the court. He puts his body into people. The fundamentals of the game are there. You can see the work he put in. But for Julius Randle to be the guy that has to be the glue there and to be deciding that the Knicks having to wait to see if he's going to go through with the injury or not to see if their playoff hopes hinge on that. I think it's amazing. So I'm right there with you. I don't know if I can even give an answer to it. I'm dumbfounded by the question.
What a time to be alive, right? Because again, it's the Knicks that haven't been competitive for me like since like the Patrick Ewing days, like late early '90s. So for me, seeing them being competitive and being in the playoff race in general is something that's wild to me. But losing a player like Randall, I think it definitely could impact their playoff hopes. Being that veteran presence, that leader in the locker room, and all that stuff. I think that's something that
Veteran
goes
presence, my God.
undervalued. It goes undervalued at times. So, hey, that's just my initial thoughts on that.
Look, I'll say
So
this.
you,
I'll say this. I'll just throw this out there. All that joking aside, for today's game, he is very talented. What he does do you do have to game plan for unless he starts missing early, right? He can shoot from the perimeter. He can put the ball in the hole. He can get down on the low block and get it done. But you don't know what consistency you're gonna have to deal with that. So over a 7 game series, you don't have to have too much concern because the law of averages on how he plays is 3 of those games. If it went 7 games, he's not gonna come to play or it's not gonna be there. But you do have to game plan within a game for Julius Randle.
I,
Yeah,
I guess. The facts are the Knicks' all-time greatest player played when I wasn't born. That was Bernard King. Um, Patrick Ewing was blah. But I am a big John Starks fan. I was a John Starks fan, so that's one Nick that I did rock with, John Starks.
that's fair. That's fair. So, look, I just want to kind of go through some of these the quotes from Randall. and talking about the options that he has in terms of shutting down that kind of thing. Um, he said that he has, he's heard he has many different options. He said, I like how I like how I feel today. This was back. This was actually yesterday. There's a quote here saying that I like how I feel today as far as getting better, feeling stronger, progressing where I need to be, as far as getting on the court. But I'm never somebody to say never. So ultimately, I have to do what's best for myself, have a long career, and have longevity in this. So it's good to know that he's at least, taking it seriously and realizing that, hey, like, yes, this could affect my long term uh, health, both in the league and outside of it and that kind of stuff. It's the third All Star appearance in the past 4 seasons, so you know that's good. I just
Yeah.
I don't want to ramble on too long because I feel like I'm rambling here.
That's
Um,
because we're talking about the Knicks B run. It's hard to conjure up a bunch of things, especially good, about the New York Knickerbockers. Their name are the Knickerbockers,
You
which
you
this Black History Month, that can kind of go either way. I don't know how they got away with that in the first place, but I digress.
so
So it's just hard to come up with good things about the Knicks. I mean, they are the Knicks. Run, y'all take it away.
No, I think it's good that we're. It is good. It's good for the for SimWorld BA that we're talking about the Knicks and the playoffs, right? It's
mhm.
it's a big market team. Stephen A. is somewhere going crazy. We'll give him a call after the show. He's out
Yeah.
there. I'm sure we're going to see him later on in this morning, talking about how they're going to win it all if Julius Randle comes back. But it is good for the league to know that the Knicks are at least in the conversation and making waves routinely. Maybe they'll be able to bring in some actual talent. That sounded underhanded, but maybe they'll be able to bring in some mega stars here with the way that they've
Yeah,
been playing. That's how things normally
right,
work.
exactly.
If you can start competing with some mid level talent, then it gives you the opportunity to bring in some larger talent, bigger profile names, higher profile names in the future. So. Yeah, let's just keep talking about Julius Randle. Will he play or will he not? Let's help the Knicks out.
Look,
They're gonna find a way to mess it up. It's the Knicks. It's just that's just what it is. It's the Knicks.
look from one complicated situation to another one here. Justin Fields, quarterback of the Chicago Bears. They have one of the top picks in the draft. Uh, for some reason, they seem to be unsure about the position in terms of, do they want to keep him, do they not, do they trade him, that kind of thing. Justin Fields, on the other hand, he's had some trouble there. He wanted to take a break from social media. He unfollowed the Bears Twitter account, talking about, he wanted to take a break from social media all season, which admirable, understand that for sure. But when it comes to playing for the Bears next season, Fields wants to be there, but he understands that it's a business. And he what do you guys think? They had the number one pick in the
Yeah.
draft this season.
Yeah,
Does
it's all
Fields
politics,
even
B
fit?
run. It's all politics. He doesn't want to be there. They don't want him there. The coach tried to change his throwing style when he first started. So finally, in the middle of the season, I'm a big Justin Fields fan. That's why I know this. Finally, in the middle of the season, Justin Fields says, "I'm just going to go out here and ball like I normally ball. Forget what the coach says." And he started playing well. They have the number one pick. I feel, and as well as Raniel and our mutual friend Jomo Fields, who's a huge homer for the Chicago Bears, feel they should keep Fields, trade the pick, and get a bunch of other picks so they can stockpile assets and get good players in. But they're going to draft Caleb Williams, and I hope Justin Fields ends up with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't want him over here. Don't wish that on me. Don't wish that on me. Yo, so what you got? Any thoughts on this?
I don't have very many thoughts of it. I kind of clocked out of it when he decided to. You can like him all you want, Rick, but when someone says I'm going to go to the links of deleting deleting someone from the profile and making sure they don't see me on Insta, I check out a conversation when KD did those things in the past or any ex that I had. Like, that's a lot. And you know what else that does say? B-Ron made a comment. Rick, you kind of made some comments. You know what that means when he deleted the Bears from his friends list? oh, he wants to
I'm
play
gone.
for him bad. It means he wants to play for him. Based on my history, that means he wants to show them that he doesn't need them, but he really wants to play for the Bears. And I can't take any parts of this. I can't.
I look.
Yeah, you know. Go ahead, B Run. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say that. Look, I would love to see him stay with the Bears for multiple reasons, but I don't know. I really think that they're gonna go and take Caleb Williams. I think they're gonna trade Fields, and they're gonna take Caleb Williams. I don't know if it's a smart decision to do that, but I'm not the GM of the team. So yeah, what were you gonna say, Rick? Though.
No, I was just saying that. I don't. These players today, everybody's sassy. They all sassy. They do sassy things like unfollow people. To them, that's a big deal for these young kids. Well, we don't adults. We don't really give a damn. But that's what they do to be defiant. So I think he's going to the Steelers. Or he's going back home to Atlanta and play for the Falcons.
I can see that.
Or a dark horse team is
The
the Las
Vikings.
Vegas Raiders. The Raiders.
Okay.
Nobody going to Minnesota. He's not going to Minnesota. You going to
They need a
Steelers?
quarterback, though. They need a quarterback.
No, we not. Man, he not. Nobody's volunteering to go in that kind of cold. Like, he was from Chicago. No one wants to go to Minnesota. The Steelers. Mark it down in your calendar, folks. The Steelers, or back home to Atlanta, or dark horse, the Raiders. I like it. Either one of them good. All three.
Raiders
Let's
wouldn't
go,
be a
Justin
bad
Fields.
option.
He's on my dynasty too, so I have a very, very big vested interest in Justin Fields.
That's fair. Understandable there. Understandable. Well, look, let's get into some SimWorld prep talk, shall we? Game of the week last night did not disappoint at all. It was an absolute thriller of a game. Beast of the East was down 22 points,
Mm.
and they only needed one lead to get to the win in the fourth quarter. It was insane. And in a game like this too, there's a lot you can learn and take away from it. But I want to know from you guys, what did we learn
Oh,
from this game for both of these teams in your opinion? Y'all, let's start with you.
I'll start right here. I'm gonna channel a little somebody. Let's see if y'all know. First, I need to have a couple drinks, and then I said, "No underestimate the Hollywood champion." Right? That's Rudy Tomjanovich. If you don't
Rudy
know who
T.
that is, and I had to start that off with a couple of drinks. If you're not sure, that's championship pedigree right there. Hey, Coach Drayton says, "Hey, we don't. He doesn't get his credit." You getting your credit on the court, sir. You went out and you beat a very good team. You got your players you rallied the troops and they battled back from 22 down. Didn't see a lead in the game until like the last minute of the game. You rallied the troops. Your team rallies behind you. You guys were motivated. People saw on the sidelines what was going on. Much respect. You get it done on the court, and that's a very, very good team that they beat in Lakeshore Drive. We talk about a lot of teams, guys, but Lakeshore Drive, that D'Angelo Jordan, he doesn't need to average 30. He doesn't need to put up a 40-point game. What you do know is he could drop 40 on anyone's head at any point in time. Norman Nations is making believers out of people. Zay Gore has been that guy. Witness work, Kirill. That is a tough squad. And what I learned is BC East are as good as advertised.
And I'm going to piggyback a little bit. There's three things that stood out for me. One, D'Angelo Jordan is a bona fide baller. The team he played last night, it's a very good defensive team, and he ended with like 25 or 22 points, something like that. He's a bona fide baller. Number two, hey, this Beast of the East team is legit. If you thought they was not legit before, you need to stop thinking that. You got to beat them for 4 quarters. And all the
Yep.
great teams, that's the formula. You have to stick to the game plan, put your foot on their neck for 4 quarters. If you don't, you can and you will lose. And number three, Levin Color only had 8 points. Oh, but man, it was 8 big points in the
Yeah.
clutch in the
Loud 8
final
points.
minutes of the game. He had bucket after bucket. He was the go-to guy when you need the most. That just goes to show great players don't have to score a lot of points. They just got to score it at the right time. Great game for Living Color and those guys. Great win.
Exactly. Great way to end the show with that message. Thank you, Rick. Thanks both of you guys for joining me on SimWorld today. I really appreciate you all. Well, look, y'all know how it is, how we do around here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notify bell so you can know when all of our streams and shows and games go live for for you all. There will be more games this evening as well. Stay tuned for those. And remember, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld.